All right, good morning YouTube. So today I am going to be taking a break from my bulk and I'm going to be slashing my calories virtually almost in half from what I typically eat every single day, and just show you guys how you guys would be able to eat to get a six-pack. So this isn't like a quick 3-week fix to get a six-pack. This is going to be one that, depending on where you're at, could take multiple months. But you're going to do it the healthy way. You're going to be able to build muscle and increase your metabolism over the extension or the duration of the diet. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into making breakfast. Alright, so what we have here is what is going to be anabolic French toast. So we got 4 slices of just regular bread. It's 70 calories per slice. They do make lower calorie bread options that I would typically use and a strict cut, but I don't happen to have any of those in hand. You can get the Schmidt 647. I think it's like 40 calories per slice, so it's almost half. That's what I would recommend, especially if you're someone that's a little bit smaller. That way, yeah, that may more calories you can eat. But we'll start off by putting 230 grams of egg whites. That'll be 5 servings. Alright, just 1 gram shy. And then you'll throw in 5 grams of vanilla extract. I like throwing a little bit of salt, just like a pinch of it. So, and then some ground cinnamon. You really can't weigh this stuff. Probably equivalent about 2 grams if your scale picks up on it. And just mix it together. And while you're doing all this, I try to get the pan preheating. That way you put it down on there, sort of sears it. That way the egg whites don't spread out everywhere. It's all mixed up. Just like any normal French toast, just dip your bread in your batter and make sure you soak up as many egg whites as possible. That's the key here. Because the more egg whites you get into the bread, the more protein's in the bread. That's the idea we're going for here. There we go. After you get all your French toast laid out, just make sure you have it on like a medium heat, like a 4 or 5, and let it slowly cook. That way everything gets cooked the whole way through, unless you like it a little bit mushy on the inside, which a lot of people are not a big fan of. So if you do, I didn't have any extra egg whites in my container, but if you have any extra, just put your finger and poke a little holes in it and dump the extra egg whites in there till you get it all in. You won't taste the holes you punched in there. It'll be good, and you get extra protein because you're shoving more and more egg whites in there. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let this do its thing, and I'll see you whenever everything is complete. All right, breakfast is served. So tell me that does not look good. This is French toast. I put like a peanut butter syrup on it. So I took PB Fit and then just put some sucralose in it and watered down basically till it was in like a syrup type texture. And then for the French toast, I made a big mistake on that. I forgot to add the sucralose beforehand. So French toast isn't going to be as sweet, but if you add in some sort of sweetener to the egg mix, don't matter what stevia, sucralose, aspartame, whatever, none of the stuff is going to hurt you. Just add in some sweetener to artificial sweetener so you don't get any extra calories, and you're pretty much good to go. This meal here without the syrup at all has 380 calories, so 70 calories per slice, 100 calories for the egg whites, and then whatever condiments you decide to put on top, that's totally up to you. You could throw different fruits into the bread while it's cooking and cook like the fruits into it, or make like a fruit glazing. You can take any sort of like sugar-free syrup. This has 15 calories per serving, so for a half cup comes out to 60 calories. They have sugar-free chocolate syrup, which I'm actually going to throw some of that on here. And this is only 5 calories for 15 grams, so I'm going to estimate I'm going to put that's probably about 10 calories worth times that I've weighed beforehand. And I mean, you get it doused, so yeah, I prefer to eat breakfast before I go to the gym. I can't work out on an empty stomach. Or I can, it's just, I don't feel as good. I don't push as hard, or I don't get as much energy put out. So I'd rather eat breakfast and be able to burn off more calories than eat breakfast afterwards, because you're still eating the same amount of calories. So, yep, I'm going to eat my breakfast, and today when I hit the gym, it's going to be a chest day. So one of my favorite days, and I'll show you guys how to lift weights while you're eating in a deficit, so you can still put on some muscle. So I'll see you guys at the gym. Alright, so I've just made it to the gym here. I have done 5 warm-up sets on cable flies, just real light, up in the weight, up until I'm at a working weight, just to make sure that everything is nice and loosened up. Whenever you put your body into a calorie deficit, everything is a lot more at risk. So you want to make sure everything is healed up before you actually go and start pushing any sort of like heavy weights. So I'm on the Smith press, just starting out with low weights and upping the weights again. Try to stick within the 10 to 15 rep range. I mean, it's where I stay in my off season normally, unless I'm training for powerlifting. So just try to get out as many reps as I can for 3 to 4 sets, and then we'll move to the next exercise. So let's get to it. Alright, so we finished up the incline Smith press, and now we're going to be going to incline dumbbell flies. So I prefer to stick with the incline bench, especially whenever I'm in a deficit, because my flat bench I keep more for like power movements. So whenever I bench press, I make sure I have an arch on my back, my legs are planted, so I get a drive. It's more of a full body workout. And whenever I'm in a deficit, I don't want to work my whole body. I want to isolate on the certain muscles that I want to work, to focus on them and make sure they're getting trained enough. So with the incline, I don't drive as much with my legs. I do put a little bit of drive into it, but not as much. I can get more isolation in my upper chest, which is one of my weak points. And you get more of that shelf coming out from the top. So when I'm in a deficit, I want to focus on that. Incline helps me out with that. So with the incline, you want to make sure that you're coming out, keeping your arms at a 45-degree angle, and coming back the whole way till you feel that stretch. It's going to feel like feel like the fibers in your chest are starting to stretch apart. That's about at the bottom end of the movement. You want to explode up to the top and come back down. You don't have to do like the slow 5-second eccentrics or anything like that. Just make sure you're keeping the weights under control and not just throwing them around recklessly, because that's that's how you're going to tear something, especially when you don't have the calories to replenish your muscles as quickly. So you want to do that. You want to keep it lighter weights. You probably want to stick to closer to the 15 to 20 rep range, especially when you start getting really lean. You can still push a little bit heavier with these if you're experienced with them, like the 10 to 15 rep range, but with flies, you really don't want to go down below that. It's a lot of stress on your chest specifically. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into these. And the next movement is probably gonna be back to a machine press with cable flies. I don't have to do both of them. I'm not sure which one we'll do first. So I'll see you back in the next exercise. Alright, so everything's all finished up down here. I'm going to go over to the chest press is what I'm going to do next, machine chest press. And same thing, it's going to be a nice isolated, controlled 12 to 15 reps. Do that for 3 sets, and then move the cable flies for 3 sets. I'll go over on how to properly execute the cable flies when I get to that one. Chest press is just keep it nice controlled. You can come down by your side if you'd like, down here. I like to keep my arms up a little higher. It isolates my upper chest a little bit more. So I get a little more work on that. We bring your arms to your sides, a little bit more of your triceps involved and some of your lats as well. So just do whatever feels to activate your chest the best for you. Everyone's physiology is a little bit different. A form that's good for me might not be so good for you. You might have to change it slightly different to what I do. So just get your form to where you can feel it the most in the muscle you're trying to actually work. So I'm gonna go ahead and head over the chest press and finish this workout out, the last 2 exercises. Unfortunately, I'm no longer recording out there by the machine because of the music playing the gym has. The video will get demonetized. So we're going to be doing cable flies. There's 3 different variations they can actually do. I'm not going to say which part of the chest it works. I just want you to like sit back in your favorite computer, whatever you're doing, and try it and tell me which one works. So when you come from the bottom, you come up, push your chest out, and squeeze until the part of the chest works. Then come from the sides, straight across like that, and then you have one coming down from the top. Push your chest out of each one, squeeze your chest, and you can learn on which part of the chest each one is going to work. I don't really have to tell you. It should be something that you should be able to pick up on pretty easily. Get out here and jump right into the cable machines and finish this workout out.
grocery store we're getting the next couple meals because since it's middle of bulk, all the food I have is very, very low calories. So we need to find some low calorie stuff for today. One thing is spaghetti squash. Most grocery stores carry it. They have a produce section. I'll show you how to make it here in a bit. But here, looking at salad dressings, want to make some choices on what to have on top of our salad for our next meal. And you have a couple different options here. But if you want to go with like your normal dressings, I mean, you're looking at 120 calories for 2 tablespoons. And then if you go over here to the Skinny Girl syrup or dressing, you have 10 calories for 2 tablespoons. I mean, it's the same amount of volume for 110 less calories per serving. And usually when you put like 4 servings on it, so you'd be better off just eating a cheeseburger at that point and use regular dressing. You go with even lower calorie option. Some Walden Farms, they run 0 calories. So when picking your dressing out, just make the smart choice. I mean, you can even choose like a vinaigrette, but I mean, you're still looking at, 90 calories for 2 tablespoons. So even the so-called healthy version is still very high calorie. So I'm gonna finish up my shopping here, and I'll show you the how I make my salads here. All right, we are back here. We're gonna make some salads, and as you can see, I got a mess of condiments. So I'm actually kind of excited for this one. I haven't eaten a salad in probably a couple months now, at least. So yeah, normally this is like complete opposite from what I'm used to. The food that I normally eat is like super fast digesting. It allows me to digest the food quickly so I can eat more and keep eating throughout the day. But this is completely opposite. I'm going for to fill me up and set my stomach for as long as possible, so I don't want to eat more. So what we're going to do here is I have 1 bag of iceberg garden salad. If you're a big eater like me normally, you can get the big bag. It only has like an extra 50 calories, so double the volume for 50 more calories. It's most definitely worth it if it's not going to fill you up. But just pour the whole bag into a bowl. There we go. Alright, so the first one I want to do is mushrooms. We'll put these on. And the salads are like, you can do whatever you want with them, really. I mean, if you don't like something, don't put it on. Put something else on. I will say though, unless you know for sure you won't like it, and if there's just any sort of like slight chance that you might like something you see here, try it, because most of the stuff sounds disgusting, but it's not. It tastes really, really good. So just sprinkle these on there. Try not to get any of the juice out of here. Alright. Mushrooms out of the way. So next I have canned chicken. So there's 3 servings per container, so 240 calories for the can, and I'm getting 45 grams of protein. So this is my protein source. Again, with these salads, they're up to you. I mean, if you can't afford the extra calories, by all means throw the beef in there. Do whatever you want to make this salad what you like. And I can quit making a mess. By the way, the beef on the salads is really good if you can afford the calories for it. So I'm going to start putting some of my dressings on there. So instead of buying like normal salad dressing, I like to sort of create my own. So first up is soy sauce. Doesn't sound good, but trust me, it is. It has a little bit of saltiness. Okay, so I realized that my video cut out right as I was putting the soy sauce on there. So go back over what I put on there so far. And I have put, I never tried this before, but the ketchup, that's a good one. Yellow mustard, you can put brown mustard, Dijon mustard, really anything. Trust me, the mustard on there is great. I would normally put like a sugar-free syrup on there to sweeten it up a little bit. Does not sound good, I know, but trust me on this one, you definitely want to try the maple syrup on your salad. It is definitely worth a try. I'm not going to have any on this one because she wants it on hers and I forgot to buy more, so it's just enough for one salad. I threw some red wine vinegar on there and some Red Hot. And on that, chopping up some garden fresh cherry tomatoes, and that is going to be my salad. So this salad would come out to 240, let me think. With the tomatoes and everything on there, if you were to use syrup, it'd come out to rate about 400 calories for this whole bowl. I mean, it's not a very small bowl at all. And for an extra 50 calories, you could literally double the size of this. So if you make the smart choices with your salads, you can basically eat as much of it as you wanted, and you would eventually starve to death from it. So, all right, well, the next meal is going to be spaghetti squash. I'll go over on how to cook that up here shortly because it is about an hour to an hour and a half to cook it, and then at least half an hour for it to cool down. So I'll go over that here very shortly. Can you end it for me?
About to cook up our spaghetti squash. Like I said, it's going to take about an hour to an hour and a half to bake. So what you want to do is have your spaghetti squash there and just simply slice it right in half. If I can do it without cutting myself. After you get it in half, you need a trash can. So hang on. And they have a bunch of seeds and stuff in the center of them. You just take your spoon and shovel them all out. And try not to make a mess. You know what? Alright, so we got one done, one half done there. Have that. Take some sort of like seasoning salt or something and just sprinkle on there, add a little extra flavor while it cooks. Put on your baking sheet and you'll put it in the oven and bake it at 400 degrees for like I said, about an hour to an hour and a half. You'll see the edges of the spaghetti squash start to get a little brown. That's how you know it's done. So whenever all this gets finished up, I'll be back to show you how to make spaghetti out of them. Alright guys, so as you can see, these have fully cooked. You have that brown right around the edge there, but it's not like burnt to a crisp either. It has a little bit of browning around the outside edge right there. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a fork. You're just going to scrape the insides like that. And I'll just separate into, I mean, almost like noodles, not quite. It's have a little bit of a sweeter taste than what pasta noodles would have. But this is a very, very low calorie alternative to having pasta. And one that I honestly prefer for, I believe like 600 grams of this stuff is only like 180 calories. So you can have like 5 pounds of food. I believe I had, the way I used to make it, I had 5 pounds of food and like, only like 400 or 500 calories. So it's a bit of a ridiculous amount. Get this scraped out of here. You just keep on scraping and get every last little bit out. Almost there. There we go. Now I'm only going to use half of this. Save the other half for another time. But the stuff is delicious. After you have all that in there, have some canned chicken. You can use regular chicken. Doesn't really matter. Use however much you need to get your protein in, and also keep in your calorie range. So just dump that whole can onto there. And then after that, we're going to take some pasta sauce. The garlics and herbs, there is one that's like 5 less calories or 10 less calories that don't have any sugar. But this is like the cheapest and lowest calorie. So it has 35 calories per half cup or 125 grams. So let's get the right mode here. We're going to put, I want to use 2 servings, so I will use 250. All right. Once you have that all down in there, you have your spaghetti squash. Now, if you want, you can take a little bit of a fat-free cheese. Mozzarella would be better, but I'll throw a little cheddar on there. Sprinkle that on there. There we go. That's maybe, it's not even half a serving. So I'm gonna go get all this stuff cleaned up, and I'll be back with all the macros of today and of this meal. So I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back with my spaghetti squash, and just give it a little mix up here so we get everything nice and blended. And you're going to be really surprised with today's macros. So this meal here is probably one of the most filling besides the salad. Salad in this one, definitely take the cake. I mean, just, it looks like really fine spaghetti noodles. So. It's really good. So for this meal, I wrote everything down so I can remember. For this meal, you have 426 calories and 50 grams of protein if you make it just like I do. So for less than 500 calories, you're getting like 3.5 pounds of food, 50 grams of protein. I mean, it's a pretty good meal for me. As far as the last meal that I normally have throughout the day, it would be my anabolic ice cream. I'm not going to eat that. I need to eat more food than what I have so far today to make sure I'm not in too much of a severe deficit for what I'm doing. I'm definitely going to be in a pretty good deficit. Just I don't want to be this bad, because if you eat everything that I have eaten today, clear up till now, and including the protein ice cream, which I have on my channel on my other videos, I'll link it down below. For the whole day today of everything I showed you, it is 1,627 calories, and it is 176 grams of carb, 24 grams of fat, and 181 grams of protein. So that is a nice base diet. Now, the goal here is to do calories in, calories out. That is a whole nother video in itself of how it works, but that's the only way it works. So you need to figure out what your baseline of calories is. Then if you eat below that, you're going to lose weight. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. If you're not losing weight, you aren't putting yourself in a calorie deficit. I don't care what kind of metabolism you have. If you eat less than what you burn, you lose weight. So yeah, 1,600 calories for a lot of people, that's might be way too little.
By all means, you can throw in snacks, you can throw in cheats, you can do whatever you want. Like say you have 1,627 calories, so your base amount of calories that you normally burn in a day with activity and everything is 2,500. Well, okay, well now you have room, you can go out and eat a donut. I mean, most donuts at most are usually about 500 calories, as long as they're not like the specially made bakery ones. So 500 less calories, that puts you up to 2,000 calories, or a little bit over 2,000 calories, and you're at about that 500 calorie deficit still. And you got to eat a donut while you're on a diet, if that makes sense to you guys. If you want me to explain that a little bit further, by all means, let me know down below. I can do a whole video on how that is broken down with calories in and calories out, and how to sort of get a decent measurement for how many calories you burn in a day. So yeah, just make sure you aren't putting yourself in too much of a deficit. I don't want you guys out here starving yourselves, you know. So you still have to be able to build muscle. If you're starving yourselves, you aren't going to be able to build any muscle. So slight deficit, build muscle while you're in a deficit, and you'll be golden. So other than that, that is all the more I have for today's day of eating. After this, in all reality, I'm gonna have myself a big bowl of ice cream. So I'll catch you guys on the next video. Keep on lifting till then.